In a woman's life there are different stages, and in different stages there would be different hormonal problems. So ಚಿಕ್ಕದು all over thyroid diabetes ಈ common hormone problems ಇದೆ. Diabetes is also a hormonal issue because insulin is the hormone which controls it. So thyroid diabetes in all, during young age, middle age, old age, everywhere thyroid problems are always there. Diabetes can also happen. But there are some hormone issues which are very age specific, like ಚಿಕ್ಕದು ವಯಸ್ಸು, ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಹೈಟ್, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೈಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ಯೂಬರ್ಟಿ, ವಯಸ್ಸು, ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹೈಟ್ಗೆ, ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಚರ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹೈಟ್ಗೆ 2-3 ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಶರೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೈಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ದ ಹೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಹೈಟ್, ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೈಟ್, nature decides the height right in the mother's womb. How much height the child will achieve when she grows, that is already decided based on the mother's and father's height. On an average we calculate that. So there are some 3 hormones which are important for controlling the height of a child. One is thyroid hormone. Thyroid hormones are important for the height gain also. Growth hormone is important, and then when the puberty happens, the sex hormones are important. So if your child is not growing as ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತರ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಹೈಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, our child's height is not good, then you should meet the endocrinologist so that we can see whether the height is really okay or not okay. So height is one issue. Second thing is puberty. Puberty means all development. At appropriate age, development should happen. A girl should become a woman. All those changes, breast development, periods, these all, hair development, pubic hair, axillary hair, these should develop. So this is what we call puberty. So when should we get worried? When do we call this is normal age of puberty, this is late, this is early? When do we call that? So if the puberty development, like breast development, is happening before 8 years of age in a child, then that is early. That means something is wrong. You should get her to the endocrinologist. Or in a girl child, if more than 13 years and nothing has started, the breast, the chest is completely flat like that of a child, no, even little bit development is not happening, that means it is late. More than 13 years is late. Up to 13 years we can wait. We can wait and see whether it is developing or not. So puberty is also a hormonal issue. So early or late puberty means that something we need to know. And early and late definition is less than 8 years, more than 13 years. Then we should be worried about it. So these regarding reproductive age means young girls from 14-15 years of age till 25-30 years of age. Main problem they have is irregular periods. Some people have lot of hair growth here, some people get lot of acne, and then they are told that is PCOS. So PCOS is also a hormonal issue, and it happens in that age. So what is PCOS is, generally we do sonography for any reason, and then it is reported as cyst in the ovary, polycystic ovary. So that cyst in the ovary, it does not mean that you have PCOS. When there are cysts in the ovary, that means the ovary is not working well. It's not doing its job well. Its job is to produce good amount of female hormones, so that is not producing. That's why period becomes irregular. A lot of acne. Some people get lot of acne, pimples are normal as the girl grows and boy grows, but then if it is too much, not happening just during period but otherwise also it's happening. And facial hair, some people have lot of facial hair, they have to do waxing or they have to do threading once in 15 days, once in a week. That once in a month, once in 2 months is okay, but if they have to do more frequently, then that is abnormal. So these are mainly the symptoms of polycystic ovary syndrome. And why does it happen is mostly because the ovaries become cysts are developed and the ovaries become dysfunctional because of fat. When we gain weight, we gain fat. When we gain fat will have effect on the ovaries, and under that influence the ovary will not do hormone production properly, and then we get all these things. So PCOS is also a hormonal issue which needs to be tackled with endocrinologist. Then in pregnancy also there are some hormonal issues which can happen. Some people have infertility. In infertility also some hormonal imbalances can be there, and during pregnancy when thyroid happens, when diabetes happen, that requires a little different treatment than when thyroid and diabetes happen in non-pregnant state. So that is when endocrinology is important. That means thyroid and diabetes when it happens during pregnancy. In middle age, again the same, thyroid, diabetes are important. And in post-menopausal age, I mean after menopause, there are other problems which happen like hot flushes. We suddenly feel very hot, and not like this. I am not getting air, that's why it's sweating. But otherwise, all of a sudden, if we get very much heat, and heat is mainly in the upper half of the body, not in the lower half. Face, suddenly we feel very a lot of heat. Others are comfortable, and you only are feeling heat, and it will last for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then it will go. That is what we call hot flushes. If you suddenly start feeling that, that means it is a symptom of menopause. Menopause is approaching, right? Then some after menopause, sometimes we get a urine infection very frequently because the hormones are not there. So that area that becomes very dry. Vagina becomes very dry, and that can predispose to urine infections. So urine infection happens in postmenopausal age, and most important worry at that age is osteoporosis. That means bones become very weak because our hormones are important for keeping the bones strong. After menopause, the bones lose calcium very early, and that's why they become weak. So weak bones is important in menopausal age, and heart disease chances increase. So we have to take care of our sugars, diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure. All these things become important in that age, menopause. We are worried in young age if we are giving thyroid tablets, then whether it is safe to give the thyroid tablets or not. So this tablet is 100% safe. There are absolutely no side effects. It can be taken all your life. Why are there no side effects? Because it's not a medicine. It's not like painkiller. It's not like antibiotic. Aushadhi illa. Ee supplement ide. ಶರೀರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಆ ಥರ ಶರೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದರೆ ಥೈರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ free T4, normal T4. So ಆ ಕಾರಣ ಈ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಸೈಡ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, right? So you can take it all your life. There are no side effects. Then some people require 50, some people require 100, some people require 75. So then we are worried if mine is 50, yours is 100, then mine is less, yours is more. It is nothing like that. Like for other tablets, no, like BP tablet, sugar tablet, the dose is fixed. Like we don't go beyond the dose. Like for some tablet, it is 50 milligram twice a day, fixed dose. We don't go beyond that. But for thyroid, there is no upper limit of dose. Any dose which your body requires to keep the TSH normal is what dose body requires. So different people require different doses. There is not upper limit of dose. So don't worry about what dose you require. Whatever dose you take and then you do the blood test and TSH is normal, that is what your body requires, right? And will it affect my fertility? Young girls, when they have they don't want to take the tablet thinking that if they get pregnant, what will happen to their child, right? So definitely if you don't take thyroid tablet and your TSH is uncontrolled, it can affect your chances of getting pregnant also. Fertility also is affected. So when you have thyroid, you should take thyroid tablets regularly so that you keep your TSH normal. Once you take tablet and keep your TSH normal, you are as good as any other person who does not have thyroid problem. So that is all fine. Weight gain because of thyroid or not, that many people feel that we are gaining weight, it is because of thyroid. But if weight gain is only because of thyroid, then when we give the tablet and we normalize the blood levels, then weight gain should go, we should lose weight, but that doesn't happen. So weight gain generally, we increase weight as per our age and as per our family. Our weight generally resembles our mother's weight, like that body structure. So weight gain with thyroid is only 1 to 2 kg, not more than that. The other thing, hyperthyroidism, when the production is too much, then what happens is, then it opposite, we lose weight, we get lot of tremors, palpitation, dhad 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 aa tara palpitations aita, weight loss, unintentional weight loss happens. And some people, their frequency of going to washroom increases. Even immediately after eating food they feel like going to washroom. That also happens. And sometimes eye symptoms happen. Sometimes the eyes become very prominent, big size. There may be redness of the eyes, there may be watering from the eyes. So that can happen with thyroid problems, that we call thyroid eye disease. So again, how do we treat it? Very simple, we treat it with the same blood test, T3, T4, TSH. If we do, we can come to know whether you are having hyperthyroidism or not. And sometimes we do another different blood test. And sometimes we have to do what we call the technetium thyroid scan. This scan we have to do when we are suspecting hyperthyroidism. So some scans we may be able to do. How do we treat it? So generally we give tablets. The production is more, so we give tablets to reduce the production. So one thing is production, tablet we give. Another thing is sometimes if there are a lot of swellings, then we have to operate it, we remove it. And sometimes we give what we call radioactive iodine. So iodine therapy also we give. Now the last part is the nodules. The thyroid, if there are some swellings in the nodule, then what do we do? So this is very common. Many people have that nodules. But nodules, if they are there, swellings, if they are there anywhere in the body, we are worried about only one thing, whether it is cancer. That is the only worry that we have. Otherwise, the nodules are there, then we are not bothered. But if it is cancer, we are very worried. So when thyroid nodules are there, then that is what our worry is, whether it is cancer or whether it is not cancer. Not cancer in our language we call benign. So whether it is benign or it is not cancer. So how do we find out? First thing is we do the sonography. We do sonography to see how the nodule is looking, whether it is looking like a cancer or it is looking like a non-cancer swelling. So that first we do. Second thing we do is we actually put a needle there. We actually put a needle in the swelling and we pull out the substance, and then we look it into the microscope, that we call FNAC. So we do the FNAC to see whether the nodule is actually a cancer or not. Okay, and then if it is a simple swelling, I mean if it is not cancer, we don't advise surgery then, because there are no tablets which can shrink the swelling. Tablets can only take care of hormone levels in the blood, they cannot shrink the swelling. So if it is not a cancer, we leave it like that, we don't do anything. And but if it becomes very big, some people have very big swellings, it is visible like that. If it is very big, they can have pressure on the windpipe, they can have pressure on the foot pipe, and then we operate, but otherwise we leave them. But if it is cancer, then we have to do surgery. Then we do surgery, we remove the thyroid, then we give radioactive iodine also, and sometimes, very rarely, they require chemotherapy and all. Normally, when we talk about cancer anywhere else in the body, like breast cancer, cervical cancer, then generally it is a very dangerous cancer. So we have to do surgery, then we have to do chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and life is also threatened. But thyroid cancer are very, very mild cancers. If there is thyroid cancer, still nothing to worry about. We just do surgery and we give iodine therapy. We don't give chemotherapy, we don't give radiation therapy. So it's a kind of cancer, not a very difficult cancer. So here I will like to stop regarding thyroid. So if you have any questions, you can ask. We can discuss now. Nodule. So you have done FNAC. It's normal, no? Benign. Yeah. So then we don't do anything. If so surgery is required only for 3 things. One thing is if it is cancer. So it is not cancer. So surgery is not required. It's not required, right? Second thing, it is required if it is too big. If it is too big and if it is compressing, because in our neck, most important things are there. What we eat, our food pipe also goes through the neck. When we breathe, our air pipe also goes through there. So when they become very big, sometimes they can compress, and then you feel like you feel breathing difficulty, or when you sleep, you feel pressure. If you have nothing like that, then also surgery is not required.
Sometimes I feel it is small. Sometimes I feel it's slightly big.
Sometimes you feel, but that's why we do sonography to see exactly what is the size, how many mm. Nothing happened, no? So then we don't have to.
It's the same, but I feel that sometimes.
So then surgery is not required. And some like if you are a film actress or you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to see cosmetic,
Anything about
ah,
it.
so if it is not, you are not feeling good about it the way it looks, then we do surgery. Sometimes if it is happening, lot of research is going on as to why they develop the thyroid nodules or why they develop nodules anywhere in the body. We don't have answer as of now, so we don't know exactly why it happens, but we know what to do if it happens, right? Sometimes, no, if it is cosmetically concerned, then we put in a needle and we ablate it. There is radio frequency ablation. I mean, we don't do surgery, but we, in other words, we can just burn it by putting the needle into it. We can put some chemical into it, and then it burns and it shrinks. So no surgery, but just what we call radio frequency ablation. That also we do for thyroid nodules.
Late menopause type of
Hmm.
problem.
ಲೇಟ್ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್, ಲೇಟ್ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ, ಅರ್ಲಿ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್ಗೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ. ಲೇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಮಹಿಳೆಗೆ 47-48 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಏಜ್ ಇದೆ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ 50-51 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಬಟ್ 51 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಲೇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೇಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಲೇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಲೇಟ್ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್. ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಏಜ್ ನೌ?
No, it's 60.
60? You don't look like 60, but 60 yearsಗೆ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, 53 ನಂತರ.
ಹಾಂ,
At the age of 53
ಹ್ಮ್
was ಆಯ್ತು.
ಹಾಂ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ.
Some doctor ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದು after 60 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
No, 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 no. Late menopause. Oh, okay. No, no, no. Normal age 51. Western countries ಗೆ 51 ಏಜ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ವಿಮೆನ್ಗೆ 47-48 ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಎವರೇಜ್ ಏಜ್ ಇದೆ ಮೆನೋಪಾಸ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ 52-53 ಏನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಏಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇದೆ ಆರ್ ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಥರ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಂತ್ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಏನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಥರ ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಗೈನಕಾಲಜಿಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ವೀಕ್ಗೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಡಿ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ, ಒಂದು ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಡಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸೂಲ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಡಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೇಟ್ ಬೇರಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ವಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೋಗ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಸೊ ಆ ಕಾರಣ ಈ ಎರಡು ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ವಿಟಮಿನ್ ಡಿ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್ ಬೋನ್ಗೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ 2-3 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸತಿ BMD ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಬೋನ್ ಮಿನರಲ್ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈ BMD ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬೋನ್ ಡೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ವೀಕ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸಮ್ ಬೋನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಥನಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಿನೋಪಾಸ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಕಾರಣ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ರುಟೀನ್ ಚೆಕಪ್ ಇದೆನೋ, ಶುಗರ್, ಕೊಲೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಲ್, BP ಆ ಥರ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ಯೋರ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್.